Hi, this is William from Great Affordable Watches, and today I'm gonna take a look at the Pantor Seal. Pantor is a relatively unknown micro brand from Hong Kong, and they contacted me a while back and asked me if I wanted to review one of their watches. And they were actually supposed to send me the Pantor Sea Lion, which is a lot different from this one, but they accidentally sent me the wrong watch. So I thought I'd take a look at this one in the meantime. And this is the Seal, and I think this is the newest model they have. And this is a really beastly diver. It's extremely big and thick. And as always, let's start off with the specifications. Okay, the case diameter is around 44 millimeters. The case thickness is about 17.25 millimeters. It is water resistant down to 500 meters. Got a screw down crown at 3 o'clock and a helium escape valve at 10 o'clock. The lug-to-lug width is 24 millimeters. It got a sapphire crystal and BGW9 Super Luminova. So as you may have understood, this is a really big and thick diver, and I think it's a very unique looking watch, and the case is especially unique in my opinion. And we can start with the bad things about this watch, and I'm gonna be really honest here. First off, it's far too big and chunky. I have no idea why they have made this case this big and chunky, as the water resistance is only 500 meters. Yes, 500 meters is more than enough, but we have seen watches with the same water resistance but with a lot slimmer case. The lug-to-lug length is not that long, so it wears a bit smaller, I should say, but the dial, the bezel itself is very thick compared to the dial, so the dial diameter is very small, so it looks very chunky. And I think this is really unfortunate, as the Pantor Sea Lion is around 42 millimeters, and it got a short lug-to-lug distance as well, so that one would wear a lot better. And I forgot to mention the movement in this one. It's a automatic movement. They say it's a Swiss automatic movement, and the movement is called Seal 888. And this is actually the first watch I've ever taken a look at with this movement. Some people argue it's a Chinese-made movement with Chinese parts, but they say it's a Swiss movement. And so I would, before buying this watch, I would read up a bit more about that particular movement. It's a very uncommon movement, and as I said, this is the first watch I have even heard got this movement. Some good things about this watch is it feels very robust. The finishing and the quality of this watch it's really nice actually. I mean the finishing on the brushed surfaces are actually really nicely done, and the quality feel of this watch is really nice, and the bracelet itself is also very nicely made. And one other thing I don't like at all with this watch is the bezel. It is extremely hard to turn, and you slip, as you can see, and the edges here almost cut your fingers when you turn it, and it's not a pleasant experience at all. And as we can see, you can't really get any grip of the bezel, so I don't know, that's not good at all. The summary of this watch is that the finishing and the quality of the watch in general is pretty high, and all the finishing here on the metal is nicely done, the brushing is nice and all that. The sapphire crystal is nice as well, and it feels like a very solid watch. But the the chunkiness and the thickness of this watch is, I don't know why they've done this watch as thick as they have done it. And me personally, I don't like the looks at all. I think it doesn't look that good in my opinion, but that is of course very, very subjective. And I like smaller watches, as you guys probably know, so this is a bit too big for my liking. But things like the almost unturnable bezel, that's not good at all. And one other thing to note is that it's almost impossible to change the bracelet. You can change it, but you gotta use a lot of force. You gotta almost take a hammer and first unscrew these screws, and then take a hammer and basically punch it off. And that's not something you want to do on a new watch. I wouldn't. So just keep in mind that if you don't want to use a lot of force to remove it, you're basically stuck with this bracelet. And this is a very chunky bracelet, a very heavy bracelet, so that's a bit unfortunate. And I also got some troubles with the screws here. It was hard to unscrew them if you're gonna size the bracelet. So just keep that in mind. But if you like the bracelet and you know you're gonna wear this bracelet, yeah, it's a fine bracelet. Would I recommend this watch? No, probably not. I mean, if you like the look of this watch and you can accept the fact that you can't change the bracelet that easily, I guess you could buy it. But if you plan on using the bezel, or if you like a nice tactile feeling bezel, this is not a watch for you at all. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of good alternatives to this watch out there. And even Pantor's own Seal line is a much, much better alternative than this one. So hopefully I can take a look at the Seal line in the future, and that watch, and I've heard that that watch is a lot better than this one. So it's a bit of a shame actually, because they clearly have the capability to do a nice watch, because as I said, the finishing and all that, the dial is also pretty nicely done. Honestly, I would expect a lot more from a watch manufacturer that can clearly make fine watches. And before we finish this video, we're gonna do a quick wrist shot. And as you can see, it wears very big and chunky on my wrist. And as I said, I had some issues with the bracelet, so I couldn't size it properly. So that's a bit of a shame. The size of this watch, that's also subjective, and a lot of people like bigger watches. But I think if you have a 7-inch wrist like me, this wears a bit too big. But if you have 8-inch or above, I think you could pull this off. But in my opinion, I think smaller watches almost always look better on your wrists. Okay, now let's round this video off. So please let me know what you think of this watch down in the comment section. The looks of the watch is of course subjective, so even though I don't like the look of this watch, perhaps you do, and it's nothing wrong with that. But the things I have taken up in this review, the bezel, etc., is things that is a deal breaker for many people. Okay, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more watch related content, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.